Hey everybody, welcome back to another film of the week. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. And as I said in the Rudolph review, we would be dedicating the film of the weeks towards Christmas films or holiday films. You know, any like holiday spirited type movies. That's what these next few film of the weeks are going to be dedicated towards. And this one is uh, definitely has made a mark in the culture, um, and just in general when it comes to the to holiday movies. Just the conversation of holiday movies. This movie gets brought up a lot. That movie being Elf, which was directed by Jon Favreau, who you guys would know, who would do a lot of notable mainstream pieces such as Iron Man. We'll go on to do The Jungle Book, the remake of The Lion King, as well as developing the Star Wars TV show, The Mandalorian. So he's had his hand in a lot of stuff. And Elf was, I think, was it a directorial debut or his first like big gig? I guess I'm not sure, um, but stars Will Ferrell as a kid, an orphan, and he gets picked up by Santa Claus, or at least he sneaks into Santa's bag, and he gets to the North Pole. He meets a bunch of elves, and one of the elves adopts him, and he grows up to become an elf. And eventually, the elves tell him that he's not really an elf. By the sheer size of him, it's pretty obvious, pretty frank. Um, and he goes off to New York City to find. Will Ferrell does goes to New York City and tries to reconnect with his real father, and ultimately portraying a film about differences and being an outsider, being unique in quality, um, and uh, through that you get a film that's fairly spiritual or fairly spirited, sorry, and um, fun, fun and tender, but also rather sweet. Um, and I will admit that over time, the film has kind of worn a little bit in terms of its humor. I mean, it's still fairly funny, um, but I just gotta get the car running because the AC. I need the AC in here. But but the humor of it, I think, kind of fades a little for me. It doesn't impact as much when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I thought it was the funniest thing. Now I think it's fair enough. It does still hit at some marks. The scene with like him and Peter Dinklage, I thought that was pretty funny. Um, I still think that's pretty funny, but um, I love the Radkin influence. They're definitely the influence of Radkin holiday specials, specifically Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If I recall, because it's been a while since I've seen Elf, I recall there's stop motion in Elf, and that stop motion is meant to reflect um, the those holiday specials. So, um, but uh, I think that what I also appreciate about it is that it leans more on a friendly like quality because it has the makings of an R-rated movie. I think that I'm not sure if it ever happened, but it feels like it has that potential to lean in that sort of way. They could have gone for more or raunchy type humor, um, but they didn't. They decided to keep it very, very low key, very viewer friendly, and for that it works to its benefit. Um, but I can totally see like an R-rated version of this. Um, I guess that would be like Bad Santa in a way, but or kind of like Happy Time Murderers, but take out the puppets and put elves instead. Um, something like that. I feel like is plausible. We'll say an elf. I think originally might have been that way, but then they decided to go for something a little more friendly in nature. Um, I think Will Ferrell is funny in this. I think he's You know, this was kind of like prime Will Ferrell. He was just, you know, he had his SNL career going on, and then he started making his way into films, and he was started, you know, working with Adam McKay. Then came along this movie, so you know, it was an origin point for in some regards in terms of film for Will Ferrell, and because after this, that's when he would go off to do other movies like The Other Guys, and you know, working with Mark Wahlberg at some points, and expanding his collaborations with Adam McKay. You know, and of course, leading all this to Barbie, which came out this year. Yeah, so, but point being is that, you know, for Will Ferrell, this is prime. You know, this is like, you know, this is top tier Will Ferrell, and you know, Will Ferrell in general is a decent, you know, comedian. So you know, I appreciate the humor, but it kind of wears. You know, it's not as impactful as it was when I was younger, but it still holds up. It's still fun, and culturally speaking, it's just everywhere. I mean, a lot of people mention this movie when, you know, when it comes to the conversation of holiday films. Elf is always, you know, brought up. I believe it's on HBO Max right now, I think so. But it's very spirited, very fun, has a tender edge to it. You know, it's solid. It's a solid piece. That definitely could have gone the other way, but thankfully goes for something much more comforting, much more friendly, and you get something more rewarding as a result. Because if it did go for that raunchy type style, I think that it would have, you know, I think it would have been something not as impactful. So I'm glad that they stuck with, you know, this particular, stuck with this instead, with what we got instead. So yeah, so it's a good piece, but I do think though over time, it definitely doesn't impact as much as it did the first time I watched it. So the first time I was laughing, I was really engaged with the story, but I was a kid. So revisiting it as an adult, it hits to a certain extent, but not as much, you know. So it's still a good piece. What can I say? It's still a nice little piece, but not as weightful as it was when I was younger. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Elf. Cute little piece. It still, you know, holds up, and it's Will Ferrell at his best in my opinion. So yeah, so you guys let me know your thoughts on Elf if you guys have seen it. Excuse me if the review is kind of just, you know, I'm rather level, really calm today. So excuse me if I'm not like completely articulating my thoughts well enough or being really in depth, you know. But also it's Elf. I don't know how we can go deep on Elf, but cute movie, and I still get a kick out of it. I still enjoy it when I see it around this holiday season. So, but you guys will know your thoughts on Elf if you guys have seen it. I'd be surprised if some of you guys haven't seen Elf. It's, you know, just always talked about around this time of year. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if there's any other Christmas films that you guys recommend, let me know. I'd be game to watch some other Christmas movies that I have not seen. I have not seen like Miracle on 34th Street. I haven't seen that. I also have not seen. Well, actually, that one's for next week, so I can't say that. So, but there's been some movies that I have not seen, Christmas-wise. So, last year I saw It's a Wonderful Life, which that was really great. But you know, just let me know your recommendations in the comment section below. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.